How's it going, guys? It's Carlo from North Coast Constrictors. Welcome back to the channel. You know, there's nothing better than discovering a new gene or to end your own collection, especially if you're a relatively new breeder like me. When I first bought snakes and I first got into the ball python hobby, I bought some juveniles, also bought some adult proven breeders, amongst other things, a few yearlings. And the awesome thing is that I've discovered yesterday a good friend of mine, a fellow breeder that I've connected with over the last couple of months, came to my facility for the very first time, and came and looked and wanted to see how my operation goes. He's been doing it for, well, I don't even know how long, but well over 10 years, probably close to 20. And he's one of the guys that is my South African kind of mentor. I have got my guys overseas, but anyway, I want to get off topic. By looking at pictures of snakes, you don't get to see all the detail. When you're actually holding the snakes in your hand, you can pick up certain things on these snakes. Now, yesterday we discovered that 2 of my snakes actually have extra genes in them. One of those particular snakes I actually discovered had an extra gene in it a couple of months ago. It was a fireblade clown, which I thought was a fireblade clown. It actually ended up being a fireblade clown. So there was blade in it, which we didn't know until a more experienced breeder pointed it out to me and said, that's not a fire clown, it's actually got blade in it as well. And that was a hell of a bonus. We've discovered another gene in that snake as well yesterday. So the same guy actually came, well, he was one of the guys that identified the snake as having blade in it. Another breeder that actually specializes in blade and clown also identified it on photographs. Anyway, and I had one of the guys here as a guest at my facility at North Coast Constrictors, where we went through my snakes and we went through our breeding collection. And I've bought snakes from him, and maybe one day he'll buy snakes from me, but I'm way behind him when it comes to genetics and breedings, but you know, I'll get there one day. So the chances are I'll be buying snakes from him. But we've become good friends, and I invited him around to come and have a look at my facility and have a look at my snakes. And he's also one of the guys that is teaching me and helping with my breeding and identifying snakes and helping me pair and advice on which snakes to pair, which pairings to avoid, as well as my go-to guys overseas, which I've mentioned before on my videos and my last couple of videos. So anyway, for the very first time, I had one of the guys actually pay me a visit and come to my house, come to my facility, my house where I have my facility, and come into this very room and look at my snakes. And we looked at 2 snakes, and we discovered on 2 separate snakes 2 genes that I didn't know that we had. So the first one I'm going to pull out is the one that I did a video on a couple of months ago, where it was a fire clown. It actually ended up being a fire blade clown. And yesterday we discovered it actually has another gene in it. So take a look. Now, after these guys were looking at the snake, I mean, they identified the blade in it straight away, just by the photographs, without actually seeing the snake in person. I bought this as a fire clown, but you can clearly see it's a fire blade clown. But the tail marking is actually on the tail. That line there, okay, between the cloaca and the tip of the tail, that's a marker for blade. But you can clearly see that this snake is a fireblade clown. However, maybe you can't pick it up on the video, but the breeder and friend of mine who came here yesterday had a look at this snake, and he said to me, it's got red stripe. It's not just a fireblade clown, it's a red stripe fireblade clown. So we have a fantastic snake here at North Coast Constrictors. Not only did we discover a couple of months ago that it had blade in it, but yesterday I discovered that he has got red stripe in it. Now, before I made this video, I have quadrupled checked this with other top breeders. 2 of them overseas and 2 of them here in South Africa, where undoubtedly the guys have all come back and said, yes, there is red stripe in this Fireblade Clown. It is very subtle. It is very subtle. But nevertheless, there's red stripe in it. Okay. So I'm very proud to say that this beautiful boy here, his name is Comet. He's been featured on a lot of my videos. He has been pairing up like an absolute stud this year. And I'm happy to announce that he's also red stripe, which is fantastic. And I'll tell you why this is so awesome that he's got red stripe in him. Because I'm going to show you another snake now that we discovered also has another gene in it. Okay. Now this snake is already a red stripe. In fact, he's a pastel red stripe 100% het clown. And I'm going to pull him out now and I'm going to tell you the gene we discovered and I'm going to tell you why it is so awesome when I give you the history of that snake, why we discovered red stripe in this boy here that is now breeding this season for me. The reason why we are so stoked, why I am so stoked that he actually has got red stripe in him. Okay. Now, this boy that I'm going to put out here, this was my prize male, which I bought as a male proven breeder. This is a pastel red stripe, 100% het clown, 50% het genetic stripe. Okay. And obviously I bred him last year. He did pair up. He's a proven breeder. We got 7 eggs out of that clutch. Unfortunately, the clutch didn't make it. 2 out of the 7, 2 were slugs. And out of the other 5, 2 went bad. And 3 went bad and 2 went full term, but unfortunately the babies didn't make it. So it wasn't a successful season for that clutch. However, this male only had that was the only female they locked with. Now, what happened was a couple of months later, afterwards, this boy got an infected hemipene. Okay, and I'm going to show you now. So he is pulled from the breeding rotation this year. So this was my star breeder. He was my stud male, but I have since obviously invested in other males that, I mean, he's still a stud male. I'm hell of a disappointed that he couldn't breed this year, you know, being a pastel red stripe 100% het clown. Okay. And this is why I'm going to tell you why that's so, why this is so awesome to find out about the red stripe. Now, what happened was this boy got an infected hemipene and he had to go to the vet. He was treated for it, and unfortunately the medication didn't work. It didn't take the infection away, and we had to operate. Okay, but what you'll see here is a tender-looking cloaca. Okay, now that's post-surgery. So what I was doing was with the other breeder that came here yesterday and identified the red stripe in that Fireblade Clown, which now makes it a red stripe. I pulled out this red stripe and we were busy looking at the cloaca. I was showing him post-surgery, and then I noticed that line, which I'd never noticed before because as an inexperienced breeder. So what we discovered yesterday is that this boy is also blade. So I bought him as a pastel red stripe 100% het clown, but he's actually a blade red stripe 100% het clown, 50% het genetic stripe. Now, I can't breed him this year because of that infected hemipene, which is now not infected, but it's still swollen, but it's pink and its swelling's going down. Okay, but what I didn't know is that he has got blade in him. And I couldn't breed him this year. So I was breeding my Fireblade Clown to the females that he was going to breed with because he's a 100% het clown, but he's red stripe, okay, 100% het clown, pastel red stripe, 100% het clown. And I was like, oh, can you imagine, you know, making red stripe clowns, pastel red stripe clowns. So when I pulled him out yesterday and we were going over it and looking at him, obviously now my friend and the other, in fact, I was the one that actually noticed that. And I said to him, take a look at that. This boy's got blade. Have a look at that. That's a blade marker. And he looked at it, he said, Carl, you're right. That snake's got blade. So took a couple of pictures, sent it to another guy that knows one of the top breeders also in the country, looked at it, took a video of it, sent it to him, and he confirmed straight away, definitely got blade. So yesterday we discovered that two of my powerhouse male breeders, in fact, we discovered blade twice, because that fire clown there wasn't supposed to be a blade. And this 100% this pastel red stripe 100% het clown wasn't supposed to have blade in it. And he is a blade, and that ended up being a blade, and this is a visual red stripe, and then he can't breed this year. So now I'm missing out on my red stripe project. And then we discovered that the fire blade clown is actually a red stripe fire blade clown. So I'm not losing out this season. And this boy is pulled out for a year. I've pulled him from the breeding rotation. He's having a year off. He's doing well. He's recovering fantastically. He is eating like a machine. He's just sitting the season out. And he'll pair again next season, you know. But now I know that I'm going to be changing the tags, and he will now have blade added onto his identification card. And that Fireblade Clown Comet there will now be, he will have red stripe added to his identification card. So guys, what a great weekend it's been. And we've had some incredible locks. That Fireblade Clown, I've just pulled him, that red stripe Fireblade Clown, I've just pulled him out of the tub now. He's been locked up with 100% het clown female for the whole weekend. He's unlocked a couple about an hour ago, and I've put him back into his tub. So guys, I just wanted to make this YouTube video because it's so fantastic to discover and to find out that you have actually got some extra genes in your snakes that you didn't know that you had. And yeah, I'm super excited and I'm super stoked because that obviously increases the value of the snake. It makes my hatchlings more valuable. And yes, this guy is sitting out the season, which was an absolute bummer for me because I really wanted him to pair this season, particularly because he's got red stripe in him. So I was very disappointed. It's cost me a lot of money at the vet to have the surgery, and even before the surgery, the amount of antibiotics and getting him right, trying to get that infected hemipene sorted out without invasive surgery cost thousands. And then obviously when that didn't work, he had to actually go in for an operation. So that cost even more money. And then the added loss of him being pulled from the breeding season where he's got to sit a season out to recover. So he's sitting the season out. But yesterday it was so awesome. I was checking on his cloaca to see how everything's doing. We discovered that he's got blade in him as well. And that's just made this season for North Coast Constrictors even better. And next year, 2023, well, we've got a lot planned now, even more than before. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sunday afternoon now, time for me to just chill and have a bit of family time. But I wanted to do my quick YouTube video to end off the weekend. We have had some great pairings. All our snakes have locked up, all the males that I plan to pair this weekend. I'm not going to go through them individually. I did pair up fantastic pairings this weekend. All of them are locked. I've still got snakes inside the tubs where they are still locked. I'm not disturbing them, I'm leaving them. I will come and check on them tonight. If they've unlocked, I'll go back into their tubs. If they've still locked up, I'll leave them until the morning. Anyway guys, have a fantastic weekend further. Over and out. If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you very much, it's much appreciated. Cheers.